December has just begun, which means we're already approaching the end of 2023. And with that, we've also gotten about 14 new vehicles added to Jailbreak, which is quite a lot if you think about it, because we only get 12 updates every year. I've decided that in this video, seeing as we're already approaching the end of this year and we've gotten quite a few vehicles, I'm going to go over 5 of the most overrated vehicles in the entire game. Keep in mind though, this is just what I think, and if you don't agree with this, feel free to share your list of what you think are the most overrated vehicles in the game down below in the comments. So yeah, please don't yell at me like you guys always do. Thanks, I guess. Also, OBS just got updated, so I have literally no idea what's going on here, so that's absolutely amazing. But anyways, so coming in first place here, if you've been on the channel for a while now, you probably know what this vehicle is. It's the Volt Bike. Again, if you've been on the channel for long enough now, you probably know why I dislike the Volt Bike so much. It's just one of those vehicles that's really good at one thing, but at all of the other things, it's just absolutely garbage. For example, if you like grinding, this is probably the best vehicle in the game for you, and it wouldn't be anywhere near this list, but otherwise it's probably not that good for you and you probably don't use it much. And one of the main reasons for that is mainly because of the off-roading here. As you guys could see, the Volt Bike has good top speed, it has good acceleration, but pretty much everything about it sucks. It's not that good. The turning on the Volt Bike feels really stiff, and it just doesn't feel that good to drive in my opinion. And also the off-roading, as I said, it's literally non-existent. You can't go up anything at all, and when literally 75% of the whole map is off-roading and mountains, you know, it makes the Volt Bike really just not that good of a vehicle if you can't access most of the map. Like, as you guys can see here, I'm only going like 150 miles per hour over these hills here, but on the roads I can go like a consistent 200. And that's the main issue with this, seeing as the whole map is like off-roading and stuff, and the Volt Bike can't do off-roading. It's just not that good at all, and it's really slow. The brakes on the Volt Bike are also really bad, and as you guys can see here, if I go ahead and use them and just let go of them, they don't even stop. They just keep going. They never stop. The brakes are pretty much non-existent, and it's just not that good at all. So if I'm going to be honest, the only times I really use the Volt Bike is when I'm grinding, then it's actually useful, but otherwise it's just not that good at all, and I'd rather use some other vehicle because this is just not good at all, man. I can understand why people do like it for grinding because that's pretty much what it's meant for, but otherwise it's just not really that worth the money, and it's way too overrated for what it is. But now coming in second place here, we got the LOWRIDER, or the Lamborghini Aventador, if you want to call it that. It doesn't really matter, it's still the same vehicle. Well, I'm gonna be honest, the Lamborghini here is a really good vehicle for the new players. It's really good, only 100k, and it does pretty well in terms of stats. The only thing that puts it on this list for me is it's given way too much more attention than it actually needs, if you know what I mean. It's only 100k and it's meant to be for the new players, but some people treat it like it's the best vehicle in the game, which it obviously isn't. It's only 100k and it's meant to be a starter car. That's why it was added, and it's just treated way too much like one of the higher end cars in the game, like the Torpedo or something. It's nowhere close to that, and it's meant to be a cheap vehicle for the new players. Obviously, back when the Lamborghini was originally added, it wasn't meant for that. It was meant for the people that had a lot of money and had nothing to spend their money on. But nowadays, it's a starter car, and that's what it's meant to be. It's no longer the fastest car in the game, and it hasn't been for a very long time now, almost 7 years, I believe. And people just need to realize that this isn't as good as they think it is. But otherwise, the Lamborghini is a pretty good vehicle if you don't already have it. I'd definitely recommend getting it. It's really good. It's nice to drive around every now and again, but it's just way too overrated for just being a starter car. But now third place here is definitely gonna get a few of you guys yelling at me down below in the comments, which is gonna be fun to look at. It's so amazing. And well, it's the Proto 8 here. Someone just ran into my car. I appreciate. Okay, your wheels aren't moving. Ma'am, you might want to get those wheels checked out. I'm not too sure if that's normal, but she's probably gonna go rob a casino now. Perfectly normal in the world of Jailbreak. I won't question it anymore. Anyways, there's a cop there, so I'm gonna go run. I'll see you all in a minute. Anyways, as I was saying, this is probably gonna get me a lot of hate in the comments, but if I'm gonna be honest, I could care less for those Hyperpiss level 5 grinders' opinions, because if I'm gonna be honest, they're completely irrelevant. Joking, please don't burn me in the comments. I'm sorry. I don't want to make a video apologizing like all the other guys. Anyways, the Proto 8 here is worth about $15 million in trading. Might be wrong. I'm not too sure. I don't trade. That's just what I've been told. But anyways, that doesn't really matter. It's way too expensive. That's the point. Well, for $15 million, you know, the Proto 8 here is basically a rip-off of the Roadster, but with a different model. And well, if I'm gonna be honest, the stats on the Proto 8 here are basically like the Roadsters, but the top speed is even worse. So it's like the Roadster, but it's kind of worse. And it's also worth like $15 million more than the Roadster. So like, which car is truly better? Yeah. See, I'm sure you guys get the point. The Proto 8 here is like $15 million in trading. It's crazy expensive. And the Roadster over here is only $600K, and it's basically the exact same thing, but probably even better than the Proto 8. I'm not saying that the Proto 8 is a bad vehicle or anything. That's not what this video is about. It's just for $15 million more, it doesn't seem worth it to me. And the amount of attention that the Proto 8 gets compared to the Roadster, it's just way too much. I'm not saying that the Roadster is underrated either or anything. It's still really overrated as well. But compared to the Proto 8, man, oh, this thing is way too expensive, and it has way too much attention for basically a Roadster ripoff. Anyways, there are like 2 cops chasing me with their ropes down. They're trying to pick me up and throw me in the volcano probably, so I'm gonna go ahead and run here. I do not trust these people at all, and chances are they're gonna just dangle me above the volcano, and they're probably gonna try to sell me off to the Chinese or something. Honestly, I don't know what to say. Anyways, in conclusion, Proto 8, it's way too expensive, way too overrated. Roadster is probably a better option for you, and well, that's that, I guess. But now coming in 4th place here, well, we got the SUCCESSOR. It's both really, really overpowered, but it's also really, really overrated. Basically the same story as the Proto 8. The SUCCESSOR here is an amazing vehicle to have. It's probably one of the best vehicles in the game, but it's just given way too much more attention than it actually needs, and that's basically the same for all of the other vehicles like this, you know, the Torpedo, the Proto, and all that stuff. These are some pretty good vehicles, but, you know, they're just way too expensive for what they are. Like, I don't want to pay $15 million for one of these things. I got it for free in Season 8, I believe it was, and literally all I had to do was play every day for a couple of weeks, and I got it free. But now it costs $15 million. I don't know why, but now it does, and it's just dumb. I don't want to pay like a liver in trading for a hover car. I don't want to do that. Again, I'm not saying that the SUCCESSOR is bad or anything. This isn't a video about the worst vehicles in the game. I'm just saying that it's extremely overrated, especially the maximum altitude here. People really call it the best vehicle in the game just for this, but in reality, people could still eject you from this height, and honestly, it's not that good at all. It's mainly just good for avoiding people that use Roadsters and don't know how to shoot your vehicle down, you know? But otherwise, the SUCCESSOR here isn't that good of a vehicle, you know? It's pretty much the exact same as the Little Bird in terms of stats. The top speed is about the same, I believe, and it handles pretty much the same, but, you know, the only difference is this is a hover car and that's a helicopter. And it's not just the SUCCESSOR that's super overrated. We also have another vehicle that's even more overrated, and if I can find it here, it's the Crew Capsule. It's basically the exact same thing, but it's even slower, and it's even harder to control because it's constantly spinning, and, you know, it's hard to tell where you're going sometimes. There's someone over here just sitting in the ocean. I'm not too sure if I should be concerned. Sir, do you need any help? Okay, I'm just gonna leave him to it. Anyways, I'm pretty sure you guys understand my point. It's really dumb that these things are as expensive as they are. Like, they're both good vehicles. The Crew Capsule is, it's nice to drive around sometimes, and it could make some pretty good escapes, but otherwise, it's just not that good at all. And if you're just normally playing the game, you won't find yourself using this much, and it's just rotting in my inventory most of the time. So yeah, that's the top 5 most overrated vehicles in Jailbreak. At least that's what I think they are. Again, feel free to list what you think are the most overrated vehicles in the game down below in the comments, because chances are we're not all gonna have the same list. Everyone has different opinions on this, you know. And yeah, I'm gonna go throw this in the volcano. So yeah, you guys, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.